Hello, I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic, and today we are checking out one of the cheapest phones on the market, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 14. This year I have tested everything from flagships to mid-range phones, but I wanted to see how things look at the very bottom. Do not expect miracles, of course, but the big question, can a basic phone actually take good photos, is just too interesting to ignore. Let's dive in. I've got 200 photos from mountains and cities to show you. I suggest we start with a summary of the specifications. We have 3 cameras here, but apart from the main one, there is a macro camera and then something which is called depth camera, which does not actually take photos on its own, but it's used to measure distances for portraits and so on. So in fact, you have only 2 lenses which are able to take photos. And now let me show you examples of the photos taken with the main sensor, main lens. And of course, these shots are not bad at all, which is one of the key missions. But at the same time, yes, of course, I would never tell you buy this mobile phone if you want to have a great photos, because we already know that it's really basic phone. But if you know a couple of rules, like that you should always be trying to find great light, you'll be getting quite decent results. Like here, beautiful light, beautiful dogs, and a lot of green. Since this is really cheap mobile phone, more colors and more light you get in the shot, better results you'll receive. So a couple of shots from Prague, from countryside, and yes, that would always work. Colors, greenery, landscapes, perfect. That's what I really like, and that is one of the really advantages of that cheap phone. That's where it will not let you down. So colors, details, yes, beautiful roads. And if you are lucky enough to see some beautiful light, even in landscapes, you'll be getting quite nice results. So I hope I'm not confusing you, but it's really important to say that if you ask me to sum up that mobile phone in one sentence, then the sentence would be, it's very basic, but if you use it under good conditions, the results would actually be better than you would expect. Then we have macro camera. It has only 2 megapixels, which actually predefines its range of usage, because you can't really use it much. Here are a couple of examples, but in the world where everything has dozens and hundreds megapixels, 2 megapixels are just not enough to be really full camera, which might be used. So yes, it's a sort of addition to the main camera. Do experiment with that if you are lucky enough, and you'll get nice scenes, nice flowers, nice details. You might actually get quite interesting photos like here, but in normal life, I can guarantee that you won't be using this much. Let me just sum up where all these compromises are. So if you decide that you'll buy the most expensive flagship, which is Xiaomi 15 Ultra, you'll get a huge sensor. You'll get really fantastic telephoto lenses, which open really new horizons for you. It's certainly one of the most interesting mobile phones on the market. Then if you go down, we'll get to really another interesting piece, which is Xiaomi 15T Pro. And it has really good, but only one telephoto lens. It can really deliver surprisingly good results. If you go one step down, you'll get Xiaomi 15T, which has shorter telephoto, and then we basically leave the space of mid-range cameras and we jump to one interesting sibling of the one we are testing here today, which is Xiaomi Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus 5G. It has a better sensor, it has bigger sensor, and it's able to deliver really better results. Since we have some framework now, we can start testing what that mobile phone is able to deliver. So here we see what happens once we start zooming. You already know that there is no telephoto lens here, so any zooming means we are doing digital zooming, so the quality is really going down. We can go from 1, 2, 3, 5 up to 20, where of course the quality is not exciting at all. Here are the photos we've taken. So this is the basic lens, basic sensor, and we go up, 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 and this is 20. well, you will probably not be using that. At the same time, it's surprising how many details is that mobile phone able to deliver. There is one feature you might easily overlook, which is the ability of mobile phone to use full resolution. You can clearly see it here on that example. That is the normal photo. If I use the full resolution, suddenly the quality jumps up. I am not telling you should be using that all the time, but sometimes it might be useful. Quick note about two important functions. The first one is HDR. Just please leave it as it is here. It means leave it to auto mode, so you'll be getting interesting clouds and you'll be able to see what's in shadows. What is more important is that function called AI camera. What does this mean? It means that if you go through Prague, for instance, and you ask the camera to be using its AI functions, it basically is trying to see what is in the frame. So if it's greenery, it tries to improve the green colors in the greenery. Or here in the city, you see that this is without, this is with. So you're able to see more details in the shadows. Why am I stressing this? Because once you start using that mobile phone, sometimes that function really helps you. Like here, it makes it more vivid, more interesting. But on other occasions, sometimes you might feel that the colors are really too saturated. So please do not forget it's there and learn how to play with this. These photos are from white Carpathian mountains, and we can use this as a starting point for me to our 200 photos, which I'll be trying to show you in a very quick pace. And I have to apologize because sometimes you're telling me, please do not go that quickly because we want to study these photos. But what I am trying to do is that I collected these shots over a couple of months because I did a lot of testings and I had that mobile phone in my pocket, and time to time I just took it away from my pocket and I was taking some test photos in the mountains. Once we are working on details, on colorful things, you'll be quite satisfied. Of course, once we want to capture some huge landscapes, you can immediately see that the sensor is not really big and the processing power is not exciting. But if you give up landscapes and you go to the pub, suddenly the fortune is on your side again, and if you know how to work with light, you'll be getting shots like that, which are nice. And it's very useful to be an experienced photographer to operate these cheap mobile phones, because you are able to know exactly when light would be on your side. You're able to estimate what the results might be, and even shots like that, which normally beginners would not dare to shoot, you can clearly see that, well, the results are really nice. Forests in the white Carpathian mountains, and I guess I was using the AI mode here, and cows, details, some more details. And yes, that is a sort of photo which would work anytime. Colors, details in beautiful landscape. We've already seen these shots in the mountains, colors, some more landscapes. And now we are back to Prague, my favorite testing places where I do like to test what can we expect. And once again, I hope you're not bored now by the simple fact that if you are able to use the mobile phone under good light, if you are able to have a lot of colors like here, because sun is setting over the downtown Prague, you'll be really getting quite nice results. Here again, my favorite time of the day is so-called blue hour. It's about 20 minutes after sunset when everything turns blue. And even here, I really have to say, I was surprised that that mobile phone was able to do things like this. And if you've seen some of my reviews before, you are probably bored by that scene, but I guess this is the most beautiful view of Prague, so I come here very often just to test what to expect from a mobile phone or a camera. Do not zoom, that's my advice, because then the level of details drops dramatically. If you do not zoom, you'll be getting quite good results. I was really politely surprised that even that basic phone was able to operate during evening and night. Some more example, good light and an interesting dog. You already know the trick, you already know that if the light is amazing, I do not hesitate to take it and test it. And I hope you are not bored by my manipulation, but it's simply true. If you buy any cheap mobile phone, any cheap camera, that is the key trick to know that if I was here at that beautiful lake after the sun goes down, it'll be boring. If I come here and there would not be beautiful morning or afternoon light over my dog, again, you just will not like it. So please do know that cheap mobiles will be perfect under beautiful light, but once it goes away, it won't be that good. One more dog, some more examples, colors, beautiful light, details, and once more in Prague, the global view of the castle, couple of details. And once again, I'm really sorry that I'm so quick, but I just really want you to have a chance to see as many examples as we can. And the famous view of Prague trams. And you know the trick, the trams are red or yellow, so it looks nice. Beautiful dog and great light. And final scenes of our photo, part of that review, the highest mountains of the Czech Republic, Krkonoše, first snow over the mountains in November, and amazing light. So you will not be surprised, you already know it, that if we take the camera here, we'll be getting quite nice results here and here. And the highest mountain of the Czech Republic called Sněžka. Well, this is a piece of information you might probably live without, but you might want to know that, again, the same rule. Once you have good light, you will like the results. And some more shots from the mountains of Krkonoše. And at the end, as always, let me show you a couple of examples of videos. I'm really not good in evaluating videos, so I am showing you a couple of examples and letting you to decide if you like them or not. Perhaps one important technical detail, that mobile phone is not able to record in 4K, which is a sort of limit, but again, we are speaking about a cheap mobile phone, so we can probably forgive it to it. So, thank you so much for your attention. Take care. I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic.